Hey, welcome back to another Sunday with the Nosebleeds Reports. How's everyone doing today?
Fantastic.
Hello.
All right. We have a lot to talk about today. We have a special guest with us, college football stud, a friend of Paulie's. Before we get started, I got to give you my spiel. We're here to talk about sports, act like we know what we're talking about. And in turn, we try to generate money because our goal is to send veterans and first responders to sporting events. We feel that sending a sporting event with a mentor, it's our little way of trying to stop the 4 veterans that are committing suicide every single day. So it's just our little part that we do to try to prevent veteran suicide. With that said, we just recently had a fundraiser of selling football squares for the Super Bowl, which we are going to try and generate the numbers live here on this show. It's never been done before, so if I screw it up, don't yell at me. You will have your numbers done today, but hopefully during this show. And also, with those tickets, we're buying Detroit Lions season tickets, plus we're going to send Eric and his brother to Chicago Cubs opening day. We are sending Paulie and his buddy to the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears in Detroit. And also, I just found out that another guy that we served with, his name is Taco. His daughter just got deployed to Gitmo. So I told him when she gets back, you tell me what sporting event she wants to go to, and we will purchase 2 tickets and send him and his daughter on us to a sporting event, whether it be the Chicago Bears, Bulls, Sox, Cubs, wherever they want to go, the Blackhawks. If it's the Blackhawks, it'll kind of break my heart to buy those tickets. Hopefully they don't pick hockey.
I know you're a Red Wings guy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge
I don't mind the Chicago Bears because they suck so bad. But, the Blackhawks, they hurt my feelings when they beat the Red Wings.
You know what, though? You got a lot more banners than we do.
Yeah, they have a few banners. And, Steve Eisenman is back at the helm running that show. So hopefully he can get us back to our glory days.
And that national anthem is fantastic. Absolutely incredible.
Yes, sir. So, and we also have Paulie's Corner today. He's got a special little rant for us as usual. So, with that said, you guys want to talk football? Do you want to introduce your buddy there, Paulie?
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Tim.
Morning, Paulie. How's it going?
Oh, good. But I got to do something. I'd be remiss if I didn't. Hold on.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
He's like Lee Corso.
Hey, that's a... All right, so
Weber Red Horde.
That's right. So, hey, the background on Tim and I. This is all about Tim, but Tim and I played high school football together. We played at Weber High School, the Chicago Catholic League, one of the strongest high school leagues in the whole country. It's very well known, and Tim was an all-state. He was our all-state guy at Weber High School. He was a beast. He's still a beast, but he's really pleasant off the field. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Yeah, Tim is really cordial off the field, but on the field, he was a beast. At Weber, we actually went to the state playoffs that year in our senior year, and then we lost to the people who won the state playoffs, the state championship.
Yeah, you want a quick little story about that?
Yeah, Tim.
So we played Glenbard West. And they, like Paul said, ended up winning the state championship. So my last high school football game was at Glenbard West, and we lost on that football field. They're called the Hilltoppers, and their field's kind of on a hill. So fast forward to my son's playing football. He's serving in the Navy right now, somewhere in the Adriatic Sea right now, and his last football game also was at Glenbard West. His senior year made the state football playoffs. Buddy of Paulie and I's, Jim Cavaliers, went to that game and got to see Elk Grove, my son's high school, lose to Glenbard West on the exact same field we lost to. So
wow, I did. I did not know that, Tim.
Background. Well, I'm gonna tell you a couple things you might not know.
Yeah, no, that's really great. Tim was our team captain. Tim was a monster, like I said, in high school, and then from there we all went our different directions. And Tim was heavily recruited by Division I colleges across the country. So Tim, can you kind of talk to us about what that was like for you and how you ended up where you what school you chose and all that kind of stuff? Share some experiences.
Well, back in the back in the olden days, I don't know what it is now with the NIL and all the stuff that's going on, but you got to go on 5 recruiting trips, and I ended up being recruited by. It was strange back in the day because there was no cell phones, there was no email, so you just got letters from schools, and all of those letters, for the most part, went to the high school. So Coach John Hanhauser was our head football coach. He played football at Pittsburgh and won a national championship with Tony Dorsett. So
Yep.
we had a high school football coach that knew what he was talking about, knew what he was doing. So I knew that I was getting recruited, but didn't really have a whole lot of information on what was going on. And then after our season ended in '83, going into that recruiting portion of the season, I got this box that was, I don't know, 3 foot by 2 foot with a bunch of letters in it from colleges across the country, and I ended up choosing Northern Illinois, Ohio University, Rice, Vanderbilt, and Indiana University as my 5 official visits. I don't know what they can do now, but back in the olden days, you could go to 5 different places and get recruited by them.
So you end up picking Indiana University, and now you're big time. You're Division I, playing Division I college football. I actually I went off into the Navy, but I recall watching you on TV. I don't remember what games they were, but hey, that's my buddy Tim. Holy cow!
I probably don't remember what games they were, but yeah, no, we had a few games on TV for sure.
Yeah. So what was it like, Tim?
Like as far as being on TV, you never knew, really what was going on because you're busy with the game. But there was a couple games where we were on like the ABC national broadcast. It wasn't, there wasn't ESPN 2 and 3 and the Ocho and
right,
kind of Fox Sports 1. Back in the olden days, it was, if you were on a big game, it was usually on ABC, and you had Keith Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And who was the Miami Dolphins quarterback? Bob Greasy.
Bob Greasy.
I got to be interviewed by those 2 guys before a couple of our big games. I don't think the interview actually made the TV screen, but we got to sit down and talk to Keith Jackson, which, in my opinion, he's the voice of college football from our era.
A legend, that's for sure.
And Bob Greasy, I think people still remember Bob Greasy, the quarterback of the Dolphins, and they had a undefeated season that still hasn't been replicated.
So you get to Indiana, and what position did you play?
I played tackle in high school, and was an all-state tackle, but wasn't quite big enough to play tackle in college. So, getting a tiny bit back to recruiting, I really wanted to go to Illinois. Illinois had Mike White at the time, and I believe they went to the Rose Bowl like the year before or something like that. They were having fairly successful seasons. So I mentioned my official visits, but I went on an unofficial visit to Illinois, where you go and get to watch a game. So it's not an official visit, doesn't count against your visits, but they kind of set you up with tickets. So Paul, you knew my mom and my dad. So we went down to Illinois, and the team we happened to be playing, or Illinois happened to be playing, was Indiana. So it's just strange that
strange how that worked out.
Went down there to watch a game, and then afterwards I got to meet the offensive line coach at Illinois. I got no idea who he was, but basically what he said to me was, "Boy, I thought you were bigger, taller." So I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm not going to Illinois."
That's out.
So part of part of the process of deciding where to go was I'd really like to play against Illinois. So I ended up, choosing Indiana University because I really wanted to play in the Big Ten. Big Ten is, if you think about Chicagoland area, especially at the time, I think that, your biggest goal as a high school football player coming out of the Chicago Catholic League, probably number one would be to play for Notre Dame. And then number two would be to play in the Big Ten.
So you get to Indiana and you decide that, and you're playing offensive guard, and you guys had an accomplished career not only in high school but at Indiana University as well. I got it right.
I know. I was ready.
Thank you, Hoosiers. You don't have to make me do push-ups.
Right. No burpees.
Yeah, burpees. Oh my God. So you're at Indiana University, and you've got a well accomplished career there. Can you give us a little background on maybe how many games you played, and then the bowl games that you were involved in?
Yeah, it didn't start out so great. Our first year there, I was 0-11, but I take no credit for that because I got redshirted. So walking around, not winning a game was rough. You go through a lot of work. Paul, you know what it was like just going through the stuff that we had to go through in high school. Multiply that by about 10, and
wow.
You get to where you're at, trying to make a football team and get playing time, fight for playing time, all of that. And, we got to the point where, this first season, 84, I knew I was getting redshirted. So I was basically on the scout team and, watching these guys lose every game. And we had a decent recruiting class, that sat and didn't get to play. And we would actually, we were obviously a pretty horrible football team. We were 0-11. So there's a scout team on, every football team, and the defense plays against the offense, and the young kids and, older guys that maybe don't have a lot of playing time basically run the offense of the opponent that you're going to be playing that week. And we knew that we had a little bit of talent on our particular recruiting class because our offense drove the ball and did pretty well against our starting defense. So we knew we had something coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had a nice progression, let's say, and we can dig into different seasons a little bit more if you want to. But started off 0-11 my first year. I've got no fingerprints on that season. Then in 1985, the really weird thing happened was you have spring football in college. High school, there's no spring football. Maybe in Texas they have spring football, but
yeah, they do. Yeah,
not in Chicago. There's no spring football. And so we got off of this 0-11 season, and I obviously didn't play at all. And we started spring practice up, and maybe about 2 or 3 practices into the spring, they pulled this giant offensive guard that was recruited by Notre Dame and got a little bit hurt, Mark Snyder. He was the starting guard, and at one point during this, first few days of spring practice, they stuck me in there, and I was like, me? You got me? I'm just on the scout team. I wasn't even, in the rotation. And then they said, hey, Radke, go run with the ones.
Yep.
And, this guy was probably 3 inches taller than me and had about 30 pounds on me, and they stuck me in there. And that was the beginning of my career at guard. I never gave it up. We had, back in the 80s, you played 11 regular season football games. So 11 times 4 is 44. And then we played 3 bowl games, which is 47. So I started 45 out of 47 games, missing a couple due to injury. But once they let me in there, I tried to hold on to it. I didn't want to give it up.
Well, that's amazing. That 47 games. That's a lot at D1, the highest college level competition, the biggest, the fastest, the best, and wow, that just that's amazing. I'll tell you what. Yeah. So you played in. So what about the bowl games? Which one stands out the best, or a little bit of background on that?
Well, as far as bowl games go in general, Indiana University, if anybody is aware of it, had this guy there called Bob Knight. He coached a little bit of basketball.
Yeah.
And we had a
He's
little
pretty
bit,
good, I heard.
had a little success while we were there. So, I was there from 84 to 88. And in 1987, basketball won the national championship.
That's
So
awesome.
it was, always a basketball school and probably always will be. But just in general, prior to Coach Bill Mallory was our coach. That's who recruited me to come to Indiana University. He was the head coach at Northern Illinois. Sam Weich was the coach at Indiana. Both were recruiting me, and then Sam Weich ended up taking a job with the Bengals, I believe. He moved on he was a 49ers assistant. Then he came to Indiana for 1 year. Then went on to be the head coach of the Bengals. And during the recruiting process, Mallory in Northern Illinois kept recruiting me to Indiana, and I liked that coaching staff a lot. And
Yeah,
it was kind of the best of both worlds. I liked Indiana University's campus is a little nicer than Northern Illinois, and I got to have the coaches that I liked. But prior to Bill Mallory coming to Indiana, in the history of the program, there was only 2 bowl games that we had gone to, one Rose Bowl and one Holiday Bowl. And then my senior class went to 3 bowl games. So in just my years there, we went to 1 more bowl game than the history of the program prior to that. So we went to the All-American Bowl in 86, Peach Bowl in 87, and the Liberty Bowl in 88. As far as memorable things, All-American Bowl, we played Florida State, and the cover corner was a guy you might have heard of, Deion Sanders.
Yep.
Wow.
So that was our first bowl game, and I guess the one little quick story about that, we had a quick little receiver named Stacy Dawsey that was from Florida and knew a lot of the Florida State football players. And when we were on buses driving around, all the offensive linemen would always pick smaller guys to sit next to, because 2 offensive linemen sitting in the bus on next to each other ain't enough room. So if you couldn't get your own seat, then you would pick a little guy to sit next to. So I'm sitting next to this Stacy Dawsey, who was a tiny little receiver, but ran like a 4.3 40.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get a little bit of insight into the Florida State guys, because he knew them from high school and all that. And I'm sitting next to him, and I go, "So, Stacy, what do you think of these Florida State football players?" He's like, and he thought for a while. He's like, "Well, they're big, they're fast, and they're crazy." I didn't like any of those answers. I was hoping it was going to say, big, fast, and slow, or big, fast, and dumb, or
Right.
big, fast, and crazy is not a good combination. That was a bowl game we were kind of happy to be in, but I forget, like 27-13 ish, something like that. We lost that game, but we really were, going from 0-11 to 4-7. To 6-5 to be in the first bowl game since 1979 was a big accomplishment for us. We ended up playing the following season. We were 6-2 in the Big Ten, 8-4 overall, and lost Peach Bowl to Tennessee. But that was kind of a breakthrough season for us, and that we beat Michigan, Ohio State, and Purdue for the first time ever in the history of the program, and basically got Earl Bruce, the Ohio State football coach, fired.
Earl Bruce, yeah.
We beat them. If these scores are wrong, I'm just trying to pull from my brain that's been got hit in the head a few times, but something like 34-10 at Ohio State. And Earl Bruce, the head coach then, was quoted as saying, "This is the darkest day in Ohio State football history." I was very happy to bring that darkness upon Columbus, Ohio.
Boom.
And then the following season, they were going to come back and get revenge on us at Indiana, and we gave them a nice 42-7 ass whooping. I don't know if I can say ass on this show or not.
Sure, go ahead. Sure, show.
It didn't go very well for the Buckeyes. Now, if that's ever going to happen again in my lifetime, I don't know, but at least we were able to do it. So back-to-back wins against Ohio State.
Wow.
Beat them at Ohio State, and then for their for their revenge match. We beat them 42-7.
Well, Tim, like I said, you're a stand-up guy. You've been our team captain in high school. You've accomplished it in college. I mean, you're just a solid individual. The Ratke family is a highly respected family. Tim's dad was a Chicago cop. His son is in the Navy right now. He's IT-1, pay officer first class. You guys, you got a wonderful family. You got great stories. You're a legend, Tim. And for those who played with you, myself, a lot of respect out there for you, big guy. And appreciate you coming on the show. And don't go nowhere because we want your input on some things. But at this point, Rich, I'll hand it back off to you if that's all right.
Yeah. So thanks for hopping on with us, Tim. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. No problem. Thanks for having me. And then we did win our last bowl game against South Carolina. So
which one was that?
That was the Liberty Bowl, and it was really nice. Not a lot of players get to walk off the field as a champion. We were Liberty Bowl champions. That was my last game. Most seasons, most careers end in losses. So it was really nice to walk away. Last football game I ever played was a victory of a bowl game.
Nice. That's the way to go out.
Yeah.
Hey,
congratulations on a great year that year.
Yeah, no. Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me reminisce a little bit.
Make sure you tell your son thank you for his service.
I will. Yeah, he's in the middle of the Adriatic Sea somewhere.
Excellent. I remember those days.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Good times. So at the beginning of the show, I was thanking everybody. And I forgot to mention, and I don't know how I forgot to mention this, but I'm probably going to be doing a fundraiser here very soon. One of my VFW guys, Tyler J. Satterfield, the dude's a Marine legend. He's got a song. He's a singer-songwriter. He wrote a song that almost got him kicked out of the Marine Corps. It's called the EAS song. He's famous for it. He's got over 1 million hits on YouTube on that song. He just finished an album, and 2 weeks ago he found out he has stage 4 cancer in his thyroid. He had surgery on it yesterday, and he makes his living off his voice. So you can imagine that he's down and out right now. Not only, stage 4 cancer is bad enough, now he can't earn a living. He's in a hospital right now at the VA in Nashville. So I just wanted to give him a shout out for one. Please keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers. He has a little girl, beautiful little girl. We're hoping that he pulls through this and look for some fundraising that we're going to do for this young man. He's only 36 years old. The Marine Corps burn pits got him. And shame on our government for allowing this to happen. You would think after Agent Orange that we would learn our lesson, but obviously not. It's a damn shame. And, this is exactly why we're here, telling our stories for young men and women exactly like that. So look for some more fundraising. But with that said, on to Paulie's Corner. Are you ready there, buddy?
I'm ready.
Ready to rant.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, guys. You know what? I got a rant about Alabama fans. You know what, people? Get rid of your stupid minds on Facebook and have some damn class. Good morning out there, all. I hope you've had your muffin and your coffee. You're going to need some extra popcorn for today. Today, we're going to be talking about, again, I'm tired of talking about this guy, but we're going to talk about him again, okay? We're going to talk about him now, and we're going to talk about him all the way through the offseason until the opening game next year. And his name is Aaron Rodgers, a.k.a. he's a flippin' drama queen. He's going to take up all the ESPN, NFL Network time. Is he playing? Is he not playing? Is he going? The guy drives me friggin' bananas, okay? But let me put this in context before I start. Aaron Rodgers was asked an individual question. He was asked a question driven just for him, and not a team question, but an individual question. And they said basically, how much you got left in your tank, He goes, I could win another MVP. This guy. So, okay, that resonates through the basic fan base out there. That resonate to it's all about him. He's worried about an MVP trophy instead of talking about potential Super Bowls. All right? There is no letter I in the word team. This guy is one self-absorbed, narcissistic. He's the smartest damn guy in the room. Just listen to him or even ask him in an interview. He acts like he's smarter than everybody else out there. All right? So this Rodgers guy, he signed a $150 million extension for 3 years. The more Rodgers talks, the more I realize that, oh, damn, is this what the Packers put up with behind the scenes? I mean, is this what they go through with this guy every year? I mean, this guy, I'm like, what? What is he talking about MVPs? He's so self-absorbed. I can win another MVP. Dude, what about your teammates out there? This guy's got nothing that he could care like he wants. It's all about him, okay? I get you got to manage your career when you're an NFL football player. You only got a short period of time. But this guy's time is well beyond him. He needs to get the hell out of the league. That's my opinion. He's self-centered, egomaniac. I come first before the team mentality. It's all about him.
And he's a Packer.
And he's a Packer, guys. Oh, my God. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. You're the first one to ever interject on one of my rants. Thank you.
I didn't know I wasn't allowed.
And you're too big for me to tell you, no, you can't get involved. All right? But this is what's going on. I've never heard Brady or Manning say, oh, yeah, I think I can win another MVP. In fact, Brady, these guys are winners. Mannings, the Brady's, they take pay cuts to keep their players on their team to form the nucleus so they can win next year. They're not worried about MVPs. Patrick Mahomes yesterday gets his ankle rolled over, all right? The guy goes limping out on the field for his team, and he finishes the game. I don't think he was thinking about MVP. What can I get out of this? I mean, it's not a big leap, people. It's not a big leap when you hear Rodgers say, well, I think I can win another MVP. It's not a big leap in faith, people, when you hear him say that he's selfish. He's selfish. He's selfish. The more he talks, the worse this guy looks. How about this shut your damn pie hole, all right, and just retire? I mean, I had it with him. Take your cheese, take your attitude, and take your antics, and go to the CFL, okay, if you want to win an MVP. I'm tired of you, and I got to listen about you all the way from now until next season. So all I got left to say is this. And that's it. Done.
Oh man, I wish I was there. I'd throw a bucket of cold water on you, man. Paul's Corner is awesome, man. I swear you're gonna have a stroke on the show one of these times.
I get a physical every year. I'm good.
All right. With that said, let's segue into the NFL. I just want you to know, last week I made a parlay. I nailed every single game except John. This is your fault, buddy. Freaking Chargers, man.
Knew it was coming. As soon as you said except, I was like, oh, I missed that one too.
Freaking Chargers burned me.
Yep. I've developed a theory. I'm gonna start betting against my team, so it's a win-win. So when they, destroy my hopes and dreams, at least I get to take home $20.
Well, I'm trying to redeem myself this week. So far I'm 2 out of the 4. So we'll see how today's goes. Today, I think the competition is going to be much stiffer. We got the Niners and the Cowboys.
Yep.
Niners, Cowboys, Bengals, Bills.
The Bills, yes. So I have in my parlay, I nailed the 2 yesterday, but I have the Niners and the Bills today.
Who you got, Tim?
I agree. I think the 49ers are going to be very tough to beat at home. And the Bills, Josh Allen, he was my fantasy quarterback, so I'm not necessarily a Bills fan, but I am definitely a Josh Allen fan. And talk about a beast in fantasy. You get inside the 10-yard line, you're win-win. He's either going to run it in or pass it in. So that dude is a beast. It's a good team. Seem like good guys. So I would think today it would be 49ers Bills.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm going with the Bills over the Cincinnati is definitely the hot team this year and as of last year. But they're riding on the Hamlin thing. Plus, they're still the playoff game last year. I know it's still grinding them.
I'm going to go with Joe Burrows is my guy. I like the guy, the kid. I really enjoy watching him play. I like Josh Allen too. He's a beast as a quarterback. But I'm going to make an emotionally based decision here, and I'm going to go with the Bengals. Even though the Bengals have an offensive line that's crippled, I'm going to go with, because I'm such a big fan of Burrows, I'm going to go with the Bengals, and I'm going with the Niners tonight. The Cowboys, you guys are too inconsistent. I wouldn't bet a penny on you guys because you guys are up and down. One week you look great, and next week you look terrible. So Niners, Bengals for me.
That Niners defense is legit, man.
Yeah.
The Niners haven't lost since Halloween. I think since that trade for McCaffrey. They have not lost.
Yeah, he's looked good.
Jason, who you got today?
I'm with Paulie. I got Niners, Bengals.
John, what do you got?
Jamar Chase carried me through fantasy. I got to go with him.
Probably going Bills, Niners. I think the Bills, it's about their time. Bengals, they're there. I mean, they have the experience, but it's about time for the Bills.
I think so too. Eric, what do you got?
Yeah, I think it's Niners, Bills, but I don't think the Bills lose again this year. Win it all for Hamlin.
Yeah, I think they're going to ride that high for sure.
Yep, I don't think they lose again, and the Niners are just too good. Offense and defense, they're balanced.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to try to do this without screwing it up. It'd be too
Good
bad.
luck.
I think, from what I understand, you just hit this generate button, and it populates all the numbers. What could go wrong? Here we go.
Here we go.
There we go.
Okay, send an email.
Look
Right
at
here,
that.
live.
Nice.
There's the numbers, guys.
Look at that.
Oh, I see my first.
All right. I can't see mine.
Well, you'll get an email. It automatically generated an email and sent it out. So can't see it here.
All right.
Don't go out. If for some reason anybody didn't get an email, please let me know, and I'll either send it to you or email it myself.
Fleek, can you explain the numbers changing each quarter and how that's going to work?
Yeah. So if you can see
read the grid for the people.
Yeah, if you can see right here the columns. The first column being
Yikes.
the first column here is the first quarter. That's your numbers for the first quarter. The second quarter is the column. Second column, third column is the third quarter. The final column is not necessarily the end of the fourth quarter. It's the final score, just in case there's a tie.
Just got my email.
Oh, you did? All right, excellent. So I see I have numbers
each,
already.
Our squares won't change.
Oh, perfect. Look, I got 2 and 2.
What do I got?
That's perfect.
I'll look at it later. That's all right.
Not so good. 2 and 2.
Yeah. That's what, 2 safeties or something like that, or whatever.
Good luck with that.
2 to 12, or usually just the numbers you don't want. And of course, I got them. Thank you.
And it changes every quarter.
Yeah, you can see the columns right there. Each column represents each quarter. So I got 1s in all first 3 quarters and the 2 in the last quarter. But each quarter pays out $250. So good luck, everybody.
Yep, and thank you everyone for buying the squares.
Yeah,
very quickly.
If you happen to win, spend your money wisely. Don't be going to the strip clubs.
Well, if I win a quarter, I'm putting it back into NBR for the donations to help these veterans or first responders go to a game.
Yeah,
It's on record. It's on record.
That would be awesome. We got a lot of good things coming up in the near future. We'll keep in touch with NBR. We're doing a lot of great things over here. we'll wrap it up. It's we're already, I think this is a record, 36 minutes, pretty close to a record. Tim, I want to thank you for joining us. Our listeners, viewers, thanks for joining. Our Patreon members, if you're interested in helping us out, we have Patreon. It's a good way to get some swag. Oh, I'm not wearing my swag, damn it. Paulie's wearing his, so that's what our logo looks like. It's a good way to get a logo stuff.
You're swagless.
Yes, I am swag. I was gonna put my hat on too before I. One sec.
He's the host. He can do what he wants.
Here we go. All right. We appreciate everybody. Thanks again, Tim.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Have a blessed Sunday, everybody. Okay, just hold on for 1 second.